you think you got your sense of humor from? Like, from your parents? Because I saw your Instagram and like all the photoshopping of you into like monkeys is so funny.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just stupid.
Hi, this is Lauren Engel. Today I'm here with WIWEK. So, I have to ask you about your Hong Kong photo because I saw that and it was like on a rooftop. And I never had, I'm just not even a risk taker, but like how did that happen?
Well, some rooftops we got kicked out. It's not very legal. But yeah.
It's such a cool photo. I'll put it here for you guys.
Yeah, no, but I think we got succeeded in like 2 or 3. I remember the 4th one we got like a lot of yelling and then we had to like
Sounds exactly
leave.
like Hong Kong.
Yeah, yeah. Because the police comes, but they just warn you so you don't get like a fine or something.
Oh yeah,
I'm not trying to encourage people to do it.
If you guys come to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Rare.
And you get a sick view.
Yeah,
you get a
and the
very
pictures
sick
are always cool from the top. So you were born in Utrecht, is that how you say it?
Born in Utrecht, yeah, even a smaller city called IJsselstein. It's like a suburban city of Utrecht. Yeah, that's where I was born.
Did your dad, because your dad's Indian, did he like migrate there or was he born there?
Yeah, well, Holland is kind of a melting pot of cultures because of all the colonies and stuff. So my dad's family, like my dad's dad, came from India to Suriname, and Suriname was a colony of Holland.
Oh.
And then in the 70s, people, when they got the independence, people from Suriname got the choice to either stay in Suriname or go to Holland, and I think almost everybody went to Suriname.
Oh, so you don't have much
went to
connection.
Holland, yeah. So my dad ended up in Holland, brought my mother, and that's how me and a lot of other Indians basically are born in Holland.
Do you have much connection in India?
Yeah, but our connection is kind of old-fashioned because our Indian culture kind of got stuck in Suriname in time. So we are kind of old-fashioned almost.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because the time stood still for the culture there. Like while it developed in India, even religion-wise, and then it kind of stopped with that small group of people in Suriname. And then they brought in Holland, and that's why I know a lot of stuff, but I see almost a lot of words are changed in India into English words, you know, that we still use like very old-fashioned words for it and that kind of stuff.
And you still have family? Like, do you visit family there?
In India?
Yeah.
I probably have a lot of family in India that I don't know about, but I still have a lot of family in Suriname. Some uncles of mine are living there. They have farms there and stuff.
Yeah. Where do you think you got your sense of humor from? Like, from your parents? Because I saw your Instagram and like all the photoshopping of you into like monkeys is so funny.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just stupid.
I did not expect that answer.
No, I have no idea. I'm just stupid. My dad is funny.
He's the funny guy.
Yeah, he's a funny guy, but I'm not sure if you have the same humor, but it kind of runs in the family. But also, I think all the Instagram stuff is just about, you know, I just don't take it very seriously. I think it's just like all the whole social media stuff and stuff and shit. It's just, I just don't take it very seriously, so I kind of make fun of things, you know? Yeah.
I love that. And you grew up with a lot of Indian music. Your dad's a musician, right?
Yeah, but so my dad plays, if we talk about the old-fashioned stuff, my dad plays a very old-fashioned style of music that's almost extinct, how do you call it in English? Yeah. And so he plays that, so and a lot of other stuff. He plays all the instruments and he sings. So I kind of grew up with a lot of Indian rhythms and stuff, like ethnic rhythms and kind of stuff. So that's how it became normal for me.
And he tried to get you and your sister to sing.
Yeah. Whoa, how do you know that? You did your research. Whoa, what the hell? Yeah, it didn't really work out for me, as you can see.
Oh my god.
Not really my talent. Let's keep it like that.
Is that his career or?
No, he
just
didn't
fun?
make a career of it. You know, no, it's really his hobby and he does it very well. And yes, he did taught me and my sister the Indian tone scheme, which is pretty different from the Western one. My sister was good, but I sucked. So after a few lessons, I played with my cars again.
What careers are your parents in?
My dad has been a teacher. He's did a lot of like pandit stuff, like it's like priest, but for the Indian culture. He did immigration work, yeah, a lot of stuff. Yeah, and my mother was well, she hasn't been working for a long time. She got sick, so she has but before that she did administration, I think. I don't even know, because I was very young.
Oh.
Yeah.
How about your sister?
And my sister and my brothers are all in the office life.
Oh, so you're the only creative one in the end.
No, I think everybody's
Job-wise.
pretty. Yeah, I think everybody's pretty creative. I think my little sister. I have a little sister.
Wow, you have a huge family.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, wow.
And she's a lot into graphic design and that kind of stuff. So she did a study for that as well. She just graduated, so she's gonna make a career in that now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she made some stuff for me as well.
How would you describe yourself back then, growing up?
Me growing up depends on like the time frame.
Teenage years.
Teenage years, I was a very annoying kid because I made fun of everything, so the teachers hated me. Yeah.
You didn't take anything seriously?
No. No, I hated school. So all the teachers hated me, and I just literally made fun of everything. I was super annoying. Yeah, you didn't want to know me back then. I was a very annoying little kid. Yeah.
So you didn't like school at all?
Sorry?
You didn't like school?
No. And I think before that, like primary school, I was a nerd. I played jazz and I read a lot of books. I was very little already, and then I don't know where it went wrong.
Your parents didn't push you to study?
What?
Your parents didn't push you to study?
Yeah, I studied. I even finished my study. I finished, it's called business administration, I think. It's like accountant stuff. And I even started my master.
Oh, so that's for college?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then when I started my master, everything went really well with the music. So I just went with the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you initially thought you were going to be a businessman?
It was always a plan B. Yeah, always. I always knew that I was going to do something in music. Yeah.
How did you realize that you could make a career out of it? Did you have any like peers or anyone?
Yeah,
that you
Chesto.
knew? Yeah.
Yeah, Chesto. Well, let's just say like when I was 11 or 12. No, when I was 11, I heard Chesto on the radio, and then that got me into electronic music and inspired me to do the same. You know, like make music and then travel the world playing it, which I basically succeeded in. And then, of course, the peers from there on became different because it's not really my music style or anything. Yeah, and then I got other inspiration, but basically more out of dance music. You know, like how they succeed, like almost even not music-wise. Like how people like how people call in English take on something, you know, like to get things done and how to succeed in their own shit. Can I say shit?
Yeah. What did your parents think initially of you doing music as a career?
They always always thought it was a hobby.
Yeah.
so it kind of, and then I was it's just a hobby, and then I was already flying the world and stuff.
Oh,
and then they were like, oh wait, I think it's pretty serious. And then they were fine with it.
But you were putting out tracks under a different name before you put out WIWEK, your own name.
Yeah, it was WIWEK, because I'm from Holland, so we also know a lot of languages. So I had the French oui and the English whack, which means yes, bad. So it's kind of a pun to myself.
Oh.
Which I thought was a super sick name, but nobody in the rest of the world understood it. And they were like saying kwai whack and that kind of shit. And then, you know Gregor Salto?
No.
Okay, well, Gregor Salto is like, a pretty legendary DJ from Holland. And he was like, I think in 2013, he said to me, now's the time for you. Change your name in your real name, WIWEK.
Yeah.
So I did. If I still had that name, people would say all the weirdest shit because they still wouldn't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But maybe I'll bring the other name alive again one day. Because it's still a sick name.
And then when did so you were doing your masters and you put out a lot of tracks at that point, or?
Yeah. Yeah. Basically my whole bachelor studies was a joke. I put like a few hours a week of time in it, and then all the other hours I was just making music in my room like the whole time. So I had a lot of experience in making music already, and then it was just waiting for the right time for me to make the next moves and stuff. And I think during my masters it really started to rumble, you know. The word was spreading, you know, like what I was doing.
How did you even get it out there?
One by one, I think. One by one, like every time a DJ played my song, I just hit him up, and then they were like, yeah, send me more, and then I sent them more, and then.
Oh, so they funded themselves, or did you start? Like, how did they even find your music?
Back then it was pretty easy. Well, like 2011, 2012, there were a lot of demo emails from like boutique labels and stuff. In the times where Beatport was still huge and stuff, and then I just sent it to them, and then there were always A&Rs listening to it, but not always, of course. Like maybe 1 out of 15 would listen to it, and then that one person would say, yeah, I want to put it out, and then those labels had promo emails. They would send a tune to every DJ out there, and then that's how things started to roll. That's how the DJs got my tunes in their mailbox. That's how they started to play it in their radio shows or sets, and that's how I started to hook them up on Twitter, like, hey, thank you for playing my tune. And they were like, hey, send me more. And usually those DJs had labels as well, you know, like Layback Luke or Chesto. I would just keep sending them tunes, and then they would put those tunes out on their labels, and then things start to grow, you know, like those kind of steps.
And how about traction in the US?
I still don't know how that went. Like suddenly people in the US were like come here, and then
oh wow.
And then when I got my agency stuff, and then I pretty soon started to tour in the US. I think even sooner than in Holland. Yeah, sooner than in Holland.
And then how did you meet the Mad Decent people?
Well, Diplo is I knew Diplo for a long time.
Oh.
Because of Chesto, actually. Because Chesto was one of the tunes who played my tunes in his radio shows the whole time. And then he had his label Musical Freedom, so I would constantly send him tunes like almost every week. Like, hey, do you like this one? Hey, do you like this one? And then with one of the tunes, it was Totem, a tune called Totem. He sent it to Diplo, but I didn't knew it. And then suddenly Diplo hit me up on Twitter, like, hey, I like this song. And I was like, I like this song, Chesto sent it to me. And I was like, huh, what the fuck? Because I had like 50 followers on Twitter or something.
What? And
then I was like, yeah, well, cool, do you want to put it out? And he was like, yeah, this is the A&R of Mad Decent, get it done. And then it got out on Mad Decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it was fun. So I remember I woke up, and then you got that like thing, like, hey, I like your tune, just to send it to me.
Freak out, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Looking back, what do you think of like Jungle Terror? Do you wish that you never like categorized yourself, or?
It's a cool brand. I never saw it as a genre, and I will never do. People made it a genre, and that's cool. It's cool for them. If they need a genre, if they need a label for it, then they should do it. But for me, it will always be just my brand, my feeling, how I make music, and my club music, you know. And yeah, I think it helped me a lot, you know, like it helped me out there, because people just love labels, you know, on things.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, so it's just that once that had a label, they it was easy for them to find me. So it really helped me a lot.
Yeah.
And I just still think it's cool. So yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that to me though, like, do you hate it that people always like call it a genre or whatever? And I'm like, you know, I don't see it as a genre, but I don't hate it that people will think it or something, you know. I know people need it, so that's cool.
Yeah. When did you realize it was the right moment to start your own label?
Gregor Salto kind of initiated that as well, because I was sending him a lot of tunes as well, and they were all super weird and it couldn't fit anywhere, and I thought it was like, oh shit, so I suck, you know. But he was like, no, you need your own platform, and then he was like, let's do this label together. It's called Rimbu, and yeah, that's how it started in 2013, I think. And then I stopped it for a little bit, but now I'm working on continue Rimbu, but on my own. So that news will follow soon.
Yeah.
I've been working on that for a long time now, and it's almost done.
Do you have a separate team for that?
What's that?
Do you have a separate team for Rimbu?
What's that?
Another team, like who handles it with you?
Rakesh.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's why I started to work with him.
Yeah.
And he will handle Rimbu together with me. So yeah, it's gonna be an adventure. It's gonna be fun.
How did you meet Yellow Claw people?
How did I meet them? That's let me check. Yeah, I had a song with this Dutch singer, Eva Simons, and then she was also working with Yellow Claw. And then at a certain point, I was working with her, and she was like, "Yeah, why? Maybe we need to let it spice it up a bit by Yellow Claw." And then I was like, "Okay, cool." I didn't know them yet, so and then she brought us together. Was it like that? Yeah, she brought us together, and then I got in touch with Busy. He used to be in Yellow Claw, and then he got a little busy, so he got me in touch again with Jim. And then I got my first studio session with Jim for that song, which never came out because it's a long story. And then me and Jim were like, well, we like each other, let's work on more shit, you know? And that was also in the time where they were thinking of starting a label, they haven't even started Barong Family yet, they were just thinking it.
Oh.
And then suddenly they started it, and then he was like, you know, we got this platform. If you want, you can send me some tunes, and then we can put it out for you. And I was like, all right. Then, and then I sent him my first Jungle Terror EP, and then that's how it started with them. And then we just kept working together. It's just, yeah. We really found each other or something. Yeah.
How did you meet Hardwell?
Hardwell I met after we finished the tune.
Oh.
Yeah, so he just hit me up on email one day, like, do you want to collab?
Yeah.
And then I sent him some ideas, and then we worked on those, and then we finished it already, and we already had the release date. And then I met him in Miami. Yeah.
Oh.
Because that's where everybody meets.
Yeah.
And then so like, hey man, you're Hardwell. Yeah, hey, you're WIWEK. And then we have a tune together. Yeah. And that's how it ended up. Yeah, it's cool.
How about for GTA?
GTA? Oh, me and GTA go way back, but mostly also online.
Oh.
I always been a fan of GTA. They're the best. And then suddenly they kind of like my music as well. And then we just started to get in touch and send tunes to each other. And then worked on collabs. Like we just started to work on music. And then I don't even remember when I first met them. But usually with most DJs, it's just you talk and work with each other online, and after that you see each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about
that's usually how it goes.
Yeah. How about for OWSLA?
OWSLA, oh, that's a cool story as well. Like, I think a friend of Skrillex sent him my tunes. Like he was like, yo, you have to check out this guy. He's like making all this weird jungle shit and stuff. And then he started to play them. I think that's the way the story goes before I met them. I'm not sure if I tell that correctly, but then at a certain point I was just like, I was just DMing Skrillex like, hey, because he followed me on Twitter, and then when he followed me on Twitter, I just sent him a DM like, hey man, thanks for the support, because he was playing like 3 tunes of my in his set, like in almost every set of him, and I was all like,
wow.
I was very thankful for that. And then he was like, yo, yeah, send me some tunes, and then I sent him some tunes. He said like, send me some tunes, and let's work on a collab. And I was like, huh? The hell? Fucking Skrillex? I'm like the ultimate fanboy, you know? And I was like, then I just kept sending him IDs and stuff and tunes. And then, I don't know, I kind of signed with, back then, I'm not signed with him anymore, but back then I just signed with him kind of organically. Mm-hmm. I just sent him some tunes, and then suddenly it's like, shall we work together? And I was like, yeah, let's do it, you know. And then we just kind of work together, and so yeah, that's kind of how we basically met. And then Killa, we made Killa online as well before we met. Like the first version of Killa that we played in our sets was already done before I met him, and then I met him in Iceland. Very weird meeting place. Oh. I was just at home, and then suddenly he was like, yeah, you want to come to Iceland? And I was like, okay. And then I got flight tickets, and then I was like, next day I was in Iceland.
This is
and crazy. That was the first time I met him.
Oh my gosh. And then how did it click to you to start the short film?
Well, it came from OWSLA. Like I just made a lot of music, and it's very conceptual. I know it because I feel it as well. Like it's very like you see an image, and OWSLA was really like they had the resources to actually make it happen, so they did it, which is super cool, you know. And the director killed it. It's just insane. Yeah, I never would have the resources to do it, so props to OWSLA for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Missy Elliott that you really want to collab with her?
Wow, you really did your research. It's crazy. Missy Elliott is my ultimate favorite rapper ever. Ever since Get Your Freak On and that whole album, and of course Timbaland, like so insane. After that, like from my younger years, it was just my dream, and it's still my dream. One day, pow, it will happen.
I love that.
Yeah, she's the best. Like, she raps, but somehow she just always finds a way to get such a rhythm on it. It's so insane, and it just especially as a rhythm, like not rhythm like in dubstep term, but just rhythmic stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm such a rhythmic guy, and then she kind of is the best in that for rap, you know. I just don't know who's better than her. I'm just a fanboy, you know. I'm just the number one fanboy.
How do you say your music has changed since the early songs you made?
Oh, it changed drastically. Let's just say it like that. But people don't know it yet. I have like 15 to 20 tunes laying around right now, which are so different than what I have been putting out. Yeah. And it's just part of the evolving as an artist, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, you have to keep it fun for yourself. And I think how it evolved is I became way more focused as well on melodics. So way more balance with rhythmics and melodics. Back in the days, I was just all about rhythm and aggressiveness almost, you know? It's always been very rhythmic, you know. That's why it's like Jungle Terror. Yeah, it's basically the name, Jungle Terror, because it's rhythmic and aggressive.
How would you say you've grown as a person since you were younger?
Since I was younger? Oh, I became a very wise man. No, I think I've changed. I think the most changes I made was when I started touring. When I really saw the world and all the different countries, and I don't know, it just really opened my eyes on a lot of matters, you know. So I think that changed me a lot, just by seeing the world and meeting so many people from different countries and cultures. That's how it changed me. Like, it's like kept me way more grounded and just and also that there's almost no good or bad place, you know. Everybody's always talking, this is the best or that is the best, or I want to go there, I want to go there, but it's just everything is just the same, you know. It's the same. Like from a younger age, I never believed in borders. Like I don't believe in separation of things like countries, and I just think it's a very not cool thing to do, to have separation between different groups, because that creates conflict, you know. And now that I saw the world, I was really like, oh yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Now I understand it with my own eyes as well. Everything is just the same. People are the same everywhere. Of course, they have their own ways and stuff. People from LA are different from New York, that kind of stuff. But in essence, everybody's just the same, you know. I think that's what I really learned.
What would you say have been your biggest challenges so far?
Personal life? Whoa, this is a good question. My biggest challenges is to keep believing in the good, maybe.
I like that.
Yeah, because you know, like the world can be so fucked up that it's very easy to start losing faith in like the good or something, you know.
Yeah.
And I think if you just, I think that's the biggest lesson or something. Yeah.
What does love mean to you?
I think love is maybe even our essence, you know. We are already love. It's not something you get or feel or whatever. I think if you feel it, you are you know? And then if you don't feel it, you are not you. Does that make sense?
I think so. I think when I'm editing this, I'm like gonna wrap my head around it.
Yeah, it's just like if you're not feeling it, you know, like love or whatever people will call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just we are all love and everything, you know? I think it's,
Last question. What do you want to be remembered for?
What I want to be remembered for?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I want to be remembered. Yeah. Like, I don't know why. Yeah, I'm not sure, yeah. It's a good question though. If people want to be remember me, I want people to remember me by... Wow, this is the first time I think about this. Whoa, I don't even know. I just don't think... Yeah, I've just never stood still by that fact. Sick question. This is gonna keep me, like... This is gonna eat me the whole day now. Yeah.
Oh my God,
now all my friends will look at me. What's going on, WIWEK? I'm trying to figure out what I want to be remembered by.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. This was awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you too. Yeah, it's a cool interview. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.